Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to week 3 Otter Talk of BOL Masters. It's me, Feedonomics. And over here behind me somewhere, I don't know where they are actually, I have 3 guests with me tonight. I've got Hazem, Kerrigan, and Noah, who I can't get out of the walls. This is a recurring week that he's been hanging out. What's up, guys? How are we feeling?
Feeling good. Got a week against Mint Esports coming up, so it'll be fun.
Pretty weak opponent, so we're coasting through this week, getting ready for the real challenges later on.
Yeah.
Just grabbing the water bottles, high fiving, getting towels.
The secret stuff. You're taking the Sharpie and writing it on there.
Yeah,
I got you. It's a Space Jam reference for all the younger kids. Regardless, what else do we got going on? We got predictions.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, we can also talk about like a quick recap of last week.
I mean,
there are a bunch of funny series, like DDG series. Ember Phoenix had a nice upset, and they're also being streamed today, so.
All right.
It'll be interesting to see if their solo lane swap. I don't know if their solo lane swap is permanent, but they looked way better with the new mid and top. So I guess we'll see if it's permanent tonight, and we'll see if that was just a one-off week.
See if they just decide to run it full time instead because they were like, well, hey,
we beat DDG, guys.
Out. So yeah, no, I mean, fair enough. I mean, last week for us, I ended up losing out on being able to watch game 2 of the series that was being streamed because of a funny,
Yeah,
error.
I tried to watch that game as well, for like content piece, but I was lost to the void.
Yeah, so that was rough, but I don't know. We push on.
For week-to-week Otter Talk viewers as well, it's pretty interesting to see DDG lose after the talk Lester was talking on last week's podcast.
Yeah, he's surprisingly nowhere to be found in this week's Otter Talk.
Yeah, didn't want to show his face. Pretty interesting.
I mean, you all can find him on the Discord. It's fine.
Climb the press conference. But yeah, I think we are finally seeing, the difference of strength between the two conferences. We predicted Shurimo as the group of the Conference of Death, and I think by now we can definitely see that. But there are definitely some good teams that are like not in the top 4, such as like Hextech Hackers, now Ember Phoenix. So we'll definitely see if one of those teams wants to vie for a spot in the top 4. But right now it's looking like Mint, DDG, Lane Zero, and Akuma are the teams that are playoff favorites.
I think you're jumping the gun a little bit putting DDG up there. That is a 1-1 team who has not looked convincing in any of their games. They just played maximum. I think they've played maximum number of minutes on the court possible as of today.
Tom Thibodeau minutes, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but oh, you can go ahead.
I mean, but is it roster talent? Like, what brings you back to just kind of having the gumption that that feeling that they've got it? I mean, in retaliation to that, like what like other than what you said, do you have any other glaring call outs on them? No.
Well, the teams that are like, I guess like if we're gonna assume DDG is the last place, like the 4th team out of the top 4. And if you want to compare them to Hextech Hackers and Ember Phoenix, like I guess the name value is already there, and we would have seen like players like Never Saw and Try take over games. So I think their biggest thing right now is finding a way for their bot side to succeed, because we know Lobster has to have more proximity towards the top side with his mid and top being like the dual carries, and they haven't found that, as like Bernie Fan and Kiwi have been struggling in 2v2 a lot. And especially when there's jungle attention on the bot side. So maybe, I don't know, either they pull it back on the top side focus, or Granny Fan and Kiwi just have to learn how to be weak side warriors. But I feel like when that gets figured out, their team would be definitely stronger than it is and less volatile.
I don't know, Hazem, you played Clash with them last night. What do you think? What do you think they need to do to lock it in?
They They need to have Kiwi not pick on 4-5 for the first time in the season. I think that guy takes counter every single game. If you want them to be weak side, you gotta learn to pick these safe blinds in the support role and let Branny just lane, because this guy, as much as I shit on him, I think he's actually a good laner and he can bring it home. But
on the contrary, wouldn't you want to give support counter? So ADC gets wave clear bot, support gets counter, and then support just leaves lane. Or do you just slam Nautilus early and then he just runs around regardless?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Is I don't think you need to get the lane counter for it to matter.
Yeah,
because
makes sense.
They got stable lane. I think Branny's a pretty stable laner, but that's my take.
Well, no, and I mean, and that makes sense too. It doubles so if you feel like you have a strong support, right? You would feel like, hopefully my support is strong enough to where they can win without the counter, and I can give the counter to somebody else who is in that more impact of a role.
Right, well, they can just go back to be winning Zillion, honestly, and they're probably winning more games.
They did beat you doing that. That's pretty interesting.
Thanks.
Yeah,
they did not beat us doing that.
That is true.
I will say, as someone with a little bit of insight into the team, because I did used to play there, I know that Lobster has been saying that he has only felt like Lobster. He hasn't really felt like Evil Lobster recently. So maybe he'll get Evil this weekend, next week, and we'll see what happens there.
Okay, yeah, I just got to break out the evil persona, kind of Yellow Jacket style. Is there any? Do you all think any teams? I mean, you all can even humble brag about yourselves that you all feel like maybe a couple of the patches that are going to come through, because I'm pretty sure we stagger patches in, right?
We're gonna be on a new split, but definitely by the time playoff comes, right? Like when grubs spawn, stuff like that. I assume so, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. Because it comes out in 0.9, right? And we're already on 0.8.
Yeah. So by near the latter half of the regular season, we're gonna have new split. So one Otacon, one grubs, stuff like that.
With that in mind, do you all think that any of the rosters kind of improve or slip off?
I think Dizzy's gonna get better off that for sure.
Yes, yeah. I was just about to say that.
If Setter Freakter are able to move around the map, and Kodiak, I assume, is gonna go back to top by that time. If Sev is back, for sure. I'm not sure, but if he is back, he can go back to doing nothing for the entire game, getting carried, and Setter Freaktor show. Yeah. And then they can do everything for him.
Drake stacking is definitely going to be the name of the game in this next split, and any attention near Setter and Freakstar is good attention for Dizzy. And while we were talking about DDG, that is also scary because now grubs aren't that broken, so we won't lane swap for grubs. We won't play hard top mid for grubs. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how some teams who usually put a lot of faith in grubs and gold economy will fare now that they have to Drake stack and play for stats and future buffs.
Yeah, not to mention.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna make an offhand comment about how that's not really our league, but our skill bracket. So something most of our teams will be familiar with. That's how the Akuma team in AML that's been so successful for the last year straight plays. Is they just play for gold economy over everything, and so it's pretty fortunate for them that the season is switching after their match on Tuesday.
I mean, that's fair. But yeah, I mean, the other thing, all that I was gonna kind of think about, and I'll kind of, more bot side action, right? It'll be more of an island in the top lane, since there should be less objectives in the top lane.
Yeah, I want to see. I want to see these minion changes in mid actually start to matter. Start of the season, they made changes where you can roam more in mid, or at least that was the intent of the changes, right? With desyncing the waves. But the problem is, there's just like an objective up every time that you roam. So you don't really get to roam bot and like go for kills because you're moving from mid and you have to move to a Drake or you have to move to Grubs or you have to swap with your bot lane or you have to, you know, like the one time you do get a timer, it's pretty much you either look for a bot play, it's kind of flippy, or you look with your jungler to like try to force them out. So I feel like with the less objectives and, you know, more I don't know. I feel like the game is really scripted right now. So it's really hard to like be an individual in mid. As someone who's like learning the role, it's kind of just like go 10 CS per minute, show up everywhere my jungler shows up, and then play better mechanically and win. Whereas I much preferred the like 2019 mid meta of like get push and go impact your side lanes. So
Yeah.
I'll be excited to see if that comes back.
Yeah.
Other things from 2019 that I wish that I could get back is my shield on Silas. Let me have it back, you cowards.
Just bring back EQ as well. Just bring back EQ.
Yeah, we good.
Nautilus mid as well while we're at it.
Facts.
You know
Or
what?
just bring back release Kiana. Just bring back release Kiana.
Looking at you, Heart of
Kiana
Gold,
back.
every day.
Bring back Divine Sunder or Camille.
No, we good.
Yeah,
We
I
good.
think we can all agree Mythic Forge is a mistake. We're all good on that one.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, you get Define Sunderer back, but ADCs get Gale Force. Enjoy.
I'm down. I'm down.
Give him Everfrost.
Nah, dude, Ari with Everfrost is so toxic.
Give me like 3 rework goes like Urgot and let spells stack red buff still. Let me jungle with Urgot again and shoot undodgeable Qs.
What do you mean again?
That's
You can
fine.
jungle with Urgot right now.
Well, I want the undodgeable Qs part.
It's an elite Zenzao counter.
I mean, okay, I'm down. I'll start. Yeah, I can totally see where I can start making that work. For all those times Zal's picked against me and I get the chance to counter. I'm not a jungler anymore right now. I decided to stop filling.
Do we want to get into
Yeah, do you wanna
predictions for
talk
this
about-
week?
I mean,
Oh,
yeah, that's
yeah.
it is 7:45.
I was gonna ask you guys how your series would go, like the short, like because like we do have like 2 lane 0 players here. Who else playing?
Audio got muted for a second.
Did Prod die?
I can hear on stream. I think we're good now.
Yeah, I think we're back.
I think we're good.
Hello.
Well, I guess predictions are up anyway, so we can talk about Akuma versus Maelstrom. I guess we all predicted Akuma except Feedonomics. So you want to talk about why you thought there was an upset there?
I'm literally picking off of vibes, guys, and I just thought I'd be Chaos Draft like at the moment. So we'll see if I did it with the other set of predictions too, because then I would think it's really funny. The one prediction is the important one, and I made it, and I didn't realize you all we're good to go. It was the right decision, so it was safe, and it was maybe or maybe not an accident like that I did that, but I
would say
well.
Chappie is playing tonight.
Watch the stream.
So
Okay.
yeah, I mean I don't know. I don't think it changes anything. Like I don't think it's like upgrade. I don't think it's a downgrade. But yeah,
So I think
Chappie. Style of play.
I think Chappie is a better laner than Lonry for sure, but I honest to God think Lonry might have the best comms that I've ever seen in M600. Like he really reminds me of playing like the old Heroes of the Storm days. Like he's just got a level of communication where you never have a question on what he wants to do. And so when you're playing on a team with him, it is very, very easy, it seems, to follow his vision for the game. And even if it's not the absolute best thing to be doing, all 5 players are on that page, and so that's like a really easy force to follow. So not having that voice could spell trouble. I mean, obviously they're 100% win rate with him and a 0% win rate without him. But
yeah, but
I mean,
they still have Brady and Chappie. Like they were like they made it to Risen finals together. Like so, there is built-in synergy there. So I don't think they'll struggle too hard.
And then
I think
speed.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say you hit your next point and then let's speed run through these other two so we can hit Targon.
Well, yeah, I was
DDG
actually going into the next one. This is the most interesting thing in Group A for sure, because if DDG somehow loses even a game against Hextech Hackers, I think Fraud Watch is over. They are like fraud.
They're on the bus.
Yeah, they're a mid-tier team. They are trying for playoffs. They are not playoff guarantees anymore. They are trying.
Tornado sirens are going off right now in the DDG camp, and it is to be determined if they're going to wake up and make it away.
I think Roscoe alone though, Neversaw will probably just like say like, give me a Kali, like, give me my champions, and then she'll like definitely make stuff happen in the mid lane. Troy might do the same in the top lane. But...
Yeah, individually across the board, like and with the pedigree of the DDG org, this should not be even close. But given how DDG has been playing in this league, I think that I am not even upset about a Hextech Hackers chance to win here.
Yeah,
I would not be comfortable putting my life on a DDG win where I feel
I definitely like. I mean, DDG like. I mean, them losing to Ember Phoenix last week is bad because assuming the other three top teams beat Ember Phoenix, they'll be the only team to have lost to them. So they kind of need this win and to hope that Hextech Hackers or Ember Phoenix take a game or take a series off of the other top 3 teams, because it won't look good for playoff tiebreaks if it doesn't look good out anyways, but losing this series tonight will definitely not look good. And speaking of Ember Phoenix, we have Ember Phoenix versus Galaxy Gaming. I was a Majnu Glazer since like week 1 after I saw how he played against Vertigo. And I think that with these new solo laners, their team is revitalized. So I think it's just going to be a 2-0 for the stream match tonight.
Yeah, I think if you ignore like Winter 2025 AML, you can pretty confidently say Ember only makes good teams. So, we'll see how the rest of the season goes. I was not super high on them before the season, but they're showing up. So, that's all you can really say.
They're playing with the same roster as they did against DDG, right?
I think so.
I don't know if the solo laners are swapped. Yes, this is if the solo laners are the ones that played against DDG. This is a 2-0 Ember Wolves. If it is the solo laners from week 1, then it's anybody's game. I'm not even gonna predict that mess.
I did play against
Ember
Flamingo in Masters 100 like about a year ago, and that guy was supposed to be the GOAT, and he frauded out against me. So I don't know. That guy may just not have it.
Maybe you're the GOAT.
Facts.
I think I have Gravity 1-2. Like I think I have them taking game off Ember. I'm not gonna lie. I think
Galaxy,
Or,
you mean?
sorry, not
Yeah.
Galaxy. Yeah, GGV. My bad. I think I have them taking a game off Phoenix. They had a really inconsistent series against DDG. Like, I think it was game 2 where they just got completely blown out. Like inconsistencies like that, they're not uncommon among teams.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
I think if they have a stinker like that, they can definitely drop a game.
Hey, do we want to move
That's
to
definitely
Targon
how-
with our last few minutes?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say we need to slip over to Targon here in a second. If we could get that screen up, we'll go through those picks, and then I will banish these guys to their own team chats so they can play their games.
We're fine. Mint can wait on this.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
They don't want to get
What-
beat
what-
down any quicker than they're about to. So
What's losing bands?
Need the Batman prep time.
we don't need them.
First off, we have what is this? Which one is this? Is Gravity Nebula versus?
That's Gravity Nebula, yeah.
Who are they versing?
I don't know.
here?
I keep
Oh,
coping
basically,
on this
like,
team. I keep coping on this team saying they're gonna win, and then they
No, but they have a
just
formula. Like
stink.
they have like Krazia is on APCs or wave clear bots. Eddie is the carry threat. Like Gandhi G can like pull off these really supportive junglers. Like they have a formula that they can play for top side and like win with with their bot lane holding it down. So it's like against like Glacial Esports who had like an insane week 1 and like a very shaky week 2. It's like you have to bet on the formula at least. Like like I don't know, like I can't speak too much about skill, but like they know what they want to do. Like they have a game plan and they follow it.
Hazem, I know you've got a lot to say about Ember versus USAE.
Yeah, that is
Yeah. I think Lil Pissy's a fraud, and no matter what team he's on, he's gonna lose. So that is my
Lil
take on
Pissy.
that. I can't wait to see him in playoffs. That is the only player in this playoffs that I am looking forward to playing against. Everybody else, I don't care. That guy will get pissed on. I pray we find that guy in playoffs. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, Ramadan is over, so it's like
Ramadan is over.
well, personal bias aside, I think I have Setter on good inter. Wait, no, it's not here. I think I watched their VOD, and I think Paradox and PV Worshin is an insane mid jungle. They have a case for being one of the best in the league. Or maybe they're in the weaker group, but yeah. But I mean, against USAE, who still hasn't found their footing and is a victim of the U.S. Army curse in amateur, I think this is just a clean 2-0 from Ember.
Yeah, I love my boy Genre. I think I've predicted him against weaker opponents, but I think Timberwolves is a tough mountain to climb. So
yeah.
For the next match, I initially put Lane Zero Hurricane as winning. I was with you, Feedonomics, there, but then I saw that they were playing with subs, and I decided I could not align myself.
Okay.
Shout out
I mean,
to
no,
Lips, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say this one at least it looks like that I halfway know the scene, so it's cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I think Kodiak is the biggest fraud mid laner in the whole league. So this guy thought he was me, thought I could just roll swap mid and it would be cool, but there's only one of us that can do that in this league, so
But yeah, I mean, despite the half the team is being role swapped and Dizzy, I mean, Setter finally has good internet, and we've seen Setter at his top form. Like he's been like one of the highest rated ADCs every AML split he's touched. He's always been a force. So I'm definitely just counting on Setter Freak to our bot lane, just running over Lane Zero Hurricane. But I mean, Lane Zero Hurricane have like I've said it in my content, they're like really good at minimizing early game losses and scaling and doing what their comp wants to do. So if you can trust the bot lane to like buff Bondi and Eclipse to hold it down, get their items, and then play for their team fights, then Lane Zero definitely has a real chance to take this. I think it can go either way.
Mm-hmm.
Are you unzipping your pants? What does that sound?
Yeah, what is
I was like playing with I was playing with my case, like the earphones case.
Bro's playing with a zipper right now. That's crazy.
That's
Facts, bro.
wild.
Talking about League of Legends just gets me feeling some type of way.
It just gets you going. All right,
Gets
so
me going.
pushing through so that I can get out of this conversation as fast as possible. We all kind of just picked G7 by a landslide.
Yeah, I really hate.
Oh, they're against a Maelstrom team. Yeah, it's like 5 cast.
Yeah, I really hate putting Optic Waffles as any chance to win, but unfortunately he is playing against the worst team in his group. So
yeah,
Optic Waffles,
In
you
the
win
league.
on this day.
I
Maybe in
don't
the
know
league.
when
Maybe
I don't
in
know
the
when
league.
Maelstrom is gonna start using their like Titan roster to like just like import into the other Maelstrom teams, but something needs to happen. And soon.
True.
Castic needs to change some lives, feed some families on one of the Maelstrom teams.
All right. Well, with all of that said, you got 2 minutes till 8, so should let you guys get back to where you're going. Parting shots, parting hot takes. What do we got going on over here?
I
No, I'm
think
coming for you, little pissy. You stay ready.
I
That's
think the
my
matchup for tonight will be the matchup in the finals. I think LZDR versus Mint will be finals rematch in circa 1 month.
Yeah, definitely excited for the DDG series, Lane Zero, Hurricane versus Team Dizzy. I think we have a lot of good games. I think it was more exciting than last week on matchup. A lot of these games looked very boring, but I think across both conferences there are definitely bangers. So it'll be a good week.
All right, guys. Well, I mean, I appreciate you all coming in and saving my skin while I covered for Cherry this week on kind of short notice. Pull up the stat screen, guys. We'll go on a break, and when we come back to the channel, I guess we'll go ahead and start draft, and we'll be talking about the matchup today. So don't go anywhere.
Welcome. Oh. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're heading straight on into the draft. A bit of a speed run. We're seeing it go out. It's like Minecraft, but this time we're playing League of Legends, looking to get these drafts underway. And already we got all 10 characters locked in. Feedonomics on my digital right, and we've already seen this. And let's see how this is gonna go. But I'd love to get your opinion on the draft.
I don't know. I'm taking so much information in at once right now. I haven't put it together. I'm kind of looking at bans right now. Yeah, I mean, they all make sense to me. Nobody wants to deal with Swain at the moment. Swain is a big bird. I don't like Pantheon at the moment either. Like these are all bans for me. Is how I'm gonna look at this. So yeah, I mean I think they're all really solid. Let me look over team comps really quick because we're speed running this.
You get to see the Darius jungle by the looks of it. Maybe. Never mind. Actually,
no, it's Xin Zhao.
Yeah.
That's a
still.
Xin Zhao jungle, and that is that's a very traditional lane. Yeah, it'll be that. I mean, it'll be good. I do kind of like Galaxy's comp a little bit more, just because I like Xin Zhao a lot. Currently on this patch, very strong, but we'll have to see. They do have a lot of peel, and a lot of like basically just lockdown, keep them away from their back line. But what are you thinking about it, Cherry? How does it look to you?
I mean, I'm just like, honestly, I kind of like this Ember Phoenix roster. Not gonna lie, like having that Skarner and that Mundo, that's gonna cause a lot of HP to go your way. And I mean, obviously the tanks aren't everything, but it's gonna be difficult to really ruin them. So if Galaxy Gaming can't find a workaround, if they can't shut them down, they're gonna really have to rely on that Darius to do the heavy lifting, along with the Kaisa to get ahead. And I mean, it's kind of like what you said. The Xin Zhao, it's a big one. It's a really, really big character. If you can get ahead early on, oh my lord, is it difficult to stop it. But I mean, certainly if you just in a standard phase, if you're trading grubs for Drake, if you're just playing your own lane, sitting in the jungle, Xin Zhao can be good, but it certainly would not be some insane factor that's going to cause this game to really lose the who's the edge.
Yeah, I mean, and we'll have to see. Like I said, I guess I chose Galaxy in my predictions because I stole Otter Talk from you this week.
I was out of date, like
I mean, more power
I had things I had to do, people I needed to see, and I'm thankful that you were able to come in because I saw it definitely did go the distance. So I'd love to see it. I'd love to hear what did everyone else say on Otter Talk? Did we get any crazy opinions about this game possibly?
No real crazy opinions. I was consensus was Ember's going to win. And just to give chat a little bit of insight, the draft was done before we got a chance to start recording it on pro drafts, so they had to put it in on that site instead. That's why we had an expedited pick bans phase. Just so everybody knows.
Kind of odd we saw the Shen banned out. I haven't seen a Shen in a while.
I mean, yeah, but like, here's the thing, right? Like, Shin is circular. There's never a moment that Shin is technically bad. It's just people fall out of like the enjoyment of picking Shin, and then like at least in League of Legends standards, back around when Worlds would pop around for like 3 years in a row, Shin would be out of pick contention. And then all of a sudden, in top tier competitive play in Worlds, people would go, oh yeah, I guess a global teleport is really good. So, they're just getting ahead of that cycle right now. There could also be a really good Shin player on Galaxy.
I mean, that would be realistic to want to ban that, especially in the first cycle of bans. Like, going forward is a little bit interesting, especially since they were worried about that Swain as well, that they wouldn't ban that on the second phase. So certainly some interesting bans came out, but we will just have to wait and see. But I'd love to get your thoughts. After this draft, who do you favor? Ember Phoenix, Galaxy Gaming, which one do you think will come out on top in game number 1?
Oh, I mean, Galaxy's winning the series based off of my predictions tonight. So, it's Galaxy. I mean, despite, Ember having a great victory last week over DDG, possibly. We'll see how that kind of turns out this game. What are you thinking, Cherry?
I think, well, I know you're a big cool Galaxy believer, so I guess I'll just go the opposite side of the coin and root for Ember Phoenix. I think that in terms of bot lane, I like there's a little bit more. In terms of mid, I think it's a bit of a 50-50 for me. I think both mid laners can get a lot of value. Jungling, it depends if Galaxy Gaming gets ahead, but if they don't get ahead, then you really do have to root for that Skarner. And then top side, I mean, Mundo versus Darius. I don't expect anything crazy to come of this lane. If there is anything, I think that the Darius is just gonna like be able to get a good ult off and then keep their lead from there.
Yeah, I mean, well, we'll have to see what happens with that. I mean, you know, Darius in the first 2 or 3 levels is pretty powerful, right? So we'll see if he has the advantage in those earlier levels before you get a chance for Mundo to have, you know, his like 2 or 3 ruby crystals, his giant's belt, the rest in peace Ninja Tabby, but the plated steel caps, I think is what they're called now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll have to see what happens in regards to that. So we'll see. Like I said, we'll see what happens. We'll see how it turns out.
I think I definitely favor Galaxy Gaming, in terms of like how well the early game is gonna look. But I think that, you know, if you can get a little bit further, maybe shut down the Primal Instinct coming in from the Kaisa as soon as they drop it. Like if you can get a good Skarner ult off, it could really ruin your chances.
Yeah, I mean, but that's kind of what you got to work on. Like, I mean, but that's either team, right? Like, if either team gets a good chain set of ultimates off, they're going to win the fight. But also at the end of the day, that's League of Legends.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We're in a weird limbo of spectator delay right now, guys. So we'll go ahead and cut to a short break. Whenever we get back, we should be in action for game 1. Don't go anywhere. Really action-packed night for Blue Otter League in general.
She's such a misfit, always ready to brawl. It's like her business, roughing up your friends. The law, there is no difference. If you believe you're strong, she's a bulldozer, making sure you're flat on the ground. She's like a boomerang that never gives up. She flies in circles till she hits you and you're bowed in the dust. So just remember this, when she's chasing you down, face first, you'll be thrown into the proving ground. She'll knock you out. Have you ever really wanted to be a total rebel, flipping tables on the enemy? Did you ever try to further improve how fast you punch people through the roof? Oh, was there ever any certain time when you thought brute force and style combined? Well, I guess now's time to shine, 'cause finally she's here. Here comes Vine. As a matter of fact, the best bet one has is to quickly react to the first attack and save for the bullets. She'll never be back, just whisper.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're joining you back on the Rift, and we are ready for game number 1, the best of 3 in the Master Division of the Blue Otter League. So, joined once more, Feedonomics, and I'd love to see this fight break out and work in the favor of Galaxy since we were favoring him a little bit. However, the flash is going to be over the wall, and oh no, this Maokai is certainly not in a good spot. How are they going to be able to get out, especially
They're
with the next flash? And oh no.
Now, that was a lot of summoners spent. However, Mundo got the kill, and nobody likes that. You're not happy if you're Darius. So, you know, Mundo getting to walk back into lane with boots, actually. So, we'll definitely get into the lane for minions, is ahead of them. As we're actually waiting for the jungling to start.
That's a big lead. That's a big lead, especially with 3 assists for everyone. Oh no. I mean, it's not gonna like really cause any problems in terms of like being able to get back to lane, obviously. But like, look at that. Oh, that's so rough.
Yeah, no. I mean, you don't want to be there. And double so like Malachi doesn't have flash at the moment, and well, he does have hex flash, so it's not the worst situation in the world, right? And I mean, you know, now Mundo's just going to use these boots and completely bully this poor man over and over again. I don't know if he's going to be able to do anything about it. Actually, yeah, I mean, you know, if he gets more Qs off like that, maybe. But we'll definitely have to see. I mean, that's going to turn into armor real fast, and starts to turn into HP, and then, like we said, you're sort of you didn't win fast enough.
I mean, right now, it is a pretty big lead in the bot side for the side of the Ember Phoenix. They consistently get damage, and a little bit has been reapplied, but it's not going to be enough to really match what's happening on the top side of the map, where this Darius, they have a big, tall task ahead of them. With the boots being bought, it gives this Mundo a little bit of leeway in terms of being able to be a little bit over-aggressive, so ref's certainly going to want to try and make the most out of that, so we'll see whether or not they do end up finding an early kill. I think that's a little bit of a tall task, but if you can just keep the CS away from your opponent, that's already a good enough start, and it won't really be that way with the Darius up on CS compared to what the Mundo is pulling. But, oh, look at that extra damage. The stun's going to be there, but the root's going to be traded, and oh my gosh, it looks like we might see an engagement. However, if you're this blue side of Galaxy Gaming, you definitely do not want to engage there. With how little HP you have on the board, it really would have not gone your way.
Oh, Darius also getting some damage in. Callie, you know, just doing a lot of damage to ref there. So, you know, like I said, the abuse is kind of happening, but the first back's going to happen. We'll see what he buys with that 18 minions. Like I said, I'm assuming a Ruby Crystal. He might just, yeah. And a regrowth, like, potion. So, you know, now he's going to be really healthy when he goes back into that lane. And that's not
Ruby Crystal definitely makes the most sense just because they're going to want to start stacking Heartsteel early, especially with that first blood. So who knows whether or not this will really like be something that will work. Obviously, with them still down CS, it does raise a few eyebrows. However, it shouldn't matter. There's a big lead in terms of the Phoenixes, and they don't seem to really want to concede that anytime soon.
Yeah, and I don't know if you're Kai'Sa, you have to watch out. The Ignite going out. Oh, ho, ho, ho.
One guy's dead at least here. Okay, the double knockback might do something. However, not going to be enough. Rex finds the first, and maybe we'll see this Braum exchange, but Jordan Bot's certainly looking to get out, and they will be able to get nothing with Yato Boko getting the elimination. However, there still is going to be the solution here, and Rex, they want to be able to fight this, and maybe they'll find something. However, the opposing jungler potentially forcing out a flash, not just yet, and there actually isn't a flash to force out, and they won't even extend a barrier. So very good disciplined action there from the Lucian.
Yeah, I mean, and well, disciplined action from both players, right? But, you know, just speaking about that damage that you can throw out is Zen Zhao just suddenly, right? And from how far away? So Lucian definitely did have good trigger discipline there, not to blow any summoners, or his only summoner that he could blow in that situation.
Look at this, though. I mean, we already see a lot of players starting to gather around what is probably going to be the bot side, looking to go for the Drake. I mean, the Skarner's down towards it. The Brahm's already making space, putting down some info, and maybe they'll try and engage. Obviously, with a bit of a gold lead, you're going to want to try and do that ASAP, but I just realized, hey, this jungler's in the mid lane, and the mid lane is in the jungle. That's funny.
Mm-hmm. That and like we're in the situation here, drunk in the back. I'm bored in the house and man in the house bored. But so and plus you've got grubs happening up top, so this definitely needs to be a dragon trade now.
Hey, BF sword already being bought out.
Yeah, and it does look like that it is, and I mean, it's like the BF sword is definitely really useful for Kaisa right now. This is, like I said, this is an easy trade. You take those every day of the week. And now we just got to see if the bot lane can kind of stabilize from that invade that happened in game 1.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not the biggest Kaisa player. What do you think out of all the items that this BF sword could build into? Like, do you think we could be seeing the arrows being the ideal option here? Obviously, getting that stacking on the critical damage is nice, but do you think that's what it's going for? Or what do you think this BF sword could possibly build into?
I mean, I think it's going to turn into like the weird like dagger item now. But I'm not 100% with itemization. And stuff like that. So we'll have to see. I'm not too hip on that.
Yeah. I'm a little bit concerned. I think this might be lethality being bought out for the Lucian, but right now they're gonna get a lot of the passive ability, and if you let that fifth auto attack hit for the Maokai, they're certainly gonna be feeling it, but they will seem to just want to back off, and a little bit of pressure going to be engaged upon, so maybe the Phoenixes will be in a bit of a rough spot in a couple seconds, but we do not see the opposing Xin Zhao anywhere near the bot lane at this point in time. We do see the Ember Phoenixes taking first Drake, will be exchanged for the Void Grub, so a bit of an equalizer there in terms of the objectives, so you can't really be in an unhappy situation if you're either team right now. Obviously, the Phoenixes aren't up in a slight lead, but at this point, the Galaxy side, the Galaxy Gamers, they've definitely come back, and maybe some engagements, both supports starting to get a little bit of pressure. The Nature's Grasp are going to come through, and this Braum barely able to escape using that taxi.
Yeah, no, and that was really well played. Oh, the little dude. I know. Oh, the W? No W. Oh, but I mean, he can't go anywhere.
Wait, this Braum.
I don't think it blew up.
Oh my god, the Braum is still alive. We saw the HP bar just tick a little bit. Oh my lord, that was literally down to the wire.
Almost got beaten up by the little dudes. That would have been real embarrassing. That would have been rough for sure. But I don't know. Now we're just gonna see things. Let's kind of look at itemization and everything like that. What do we got? Oh no, Skarner showed up. You have Kaisa using the ult to get away, but Skarner is going to be able to grab her. Does look like we're gonna go over to top lane now. Darius has full stacks. The dunk comes out. It's not enough. Oh no! Sorry, I stole that from you, Cherry.
Oh my god!
I gotta practice.
No, I mean I was thinking the exact same thing you were. That's just absolutely unfortunate. Oh no! Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think I'd prefer I think that was a good idea though from the Mundo either way, forcing out the flash, just because I think Darius is a little bit more proficient with the item or the spell. Sorry. Then Mundo, who's just going to want to walk on you. They don't really need it, especially with the speed buffs you do get. And look at that, forcing him into the tower, doing so much to make it happen. But the Xin Zhao is not going to let him leave. Airborne and frozen Conceit finds the pick, and Rex is down for the count.
Yeah, I mean, and that's definitely how you kill the AD carry. I don't think that yeah, no, Kaisa didn't die getting ulted and everything by the Skarner there at the end, so that's really impressive. It got us away from that, so we couldn't watch it afterwards, but apparently the game knew better than we did. They said Nayato's fine. Like, he
Oh
good.
my god. That's tragic. That's genuinely upsetting. I mean,
They both
that
were
was such good
tragic. Let's
play.
be perfectly honest. Like, I mean, that's 2 kills that should have gone over to Ember Phoenix that they didn't get. And now, like, I mean, they're gonna have every grub. So,
Oh
you know,
man.
game's going all right.
And if we look at the minimap, this Skarner nowhere near the pit. This could easily be a dragon to equalize. This is absolutely horrid. If you're the Ember Phoenix, they need to change something because they were up 1-0 earlier on in this game when they had that first kill with Mundo. After that, they were able to have a little bit of a scuffle down the bot lane with both sides getting 1 kills for their AD carries. However, it just did not go their favor, and the Maokai especially has been, at least so far in the game, my MVP. They've been playing consistently dominantly. They were the main reason that first kill was able to come out onto the opposing players, and they've just been constantly very good. We will see a scuffle over towards the Drake, so we'll get to see that. A lot of players starting to group up, and maybe there will be a contention. Yes, there will be.
Oh, there's got to be.
Starting. Oh, and oh, look at that Nature's Grasp
That's
already
a
coming out. The
good
engagement's going to come
Nature's
through
Grasp.
from the Jinzhao, looking to get something more, but the other side of the Ember Phoenix will be able to get the Drake, and oh, look at that. The Emperor's Divide coming out, able to split this in half, but it won't do much with everyone coming around. Shutdown's going to be there, and oh no, nothing more. It's going to be the Galaxy Gaming shutting him down despite losing Drake, winning with 6 kills to 4.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and at least on the side of Ember, you're happy that you got the Drake out of that. But I just a really kind of well played team fight from GG there. I think you had Kaisa basically got to swing for free until she ulted in and got Shurima shuffled. But even after the shuffle, there was no focus. And like, I mean, that's really the reason they kind of crushed that fight there.
That
It was
was
a
absolutely
really
absurd.
good Malachi ult too.
Oh my god, that Maokai ult just allowed the engagement to be so good from that Jin Zhao. And I mean, going into this next fight, it certainly is going to be way too good, especially the Void Grubs being at 6. Obviously, 2 Drakes is a lot, but oh wait, this Mundo is going to fall down as well. And another kill going over to the Kaisa. That's 3 kills and 3 assists. They have been an absolute menace this game.
Yeah, I mean, and like, I mean, that was also a shutdown. This is getting Badsville pretty quick. The lane swap is kind of in. We'll see if the lane fix helps out. Skarner, thinking about it.
Oh.
And then we'll see what happens
Whoa.
with this Dario.
So much damage down on these turrets. This is the power of 6 grubs right here. And this Skarner up towards the top side, not sure if we'll be able to spec him. Look at the minions coming in. This could be bad. They need to be able to really weather this storm before too much damage gets applied onto them. We just see, oh my lord, it is constant pressure being activated. And finally the Mundo's going to come back, able to relieve the pressure off of the Skarner, and it really is rough.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard out here. I think if you're over on the side of Ember at the moment, I guess you're sort of hoping in 2 minutes you get this next buff. As Mundo is getting engaged on, the flash comes out. All right, he does live. Mundo's passive very silly. It's pretty good.
Oh. This is certainly going to be rough. We do see this Victor in the mid lane. They're going to have a little bit of damage going back and forth. And if you can do well there in the mid lane, you might be able to start pushing this wave and possibly be able to go up towards Herald. And instantly we'll be seeing tower traded for tower in the top and bot side. Both teams going to be able to secure one. Actually, both are going to go for the AD carry as well. The lane swap worked in both teams' favor. Neither one of them was able to really get ahead due to it. So it definitely does favor nobody in that regard. And maybe with the Herald coming up in 20 seconds or so, it could possibly lead to another engagement. But I think in that scenario, you definitely favor Galaxy Gaming with this 2,000 or so gold lead. It's definitely looking like they're a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I mean, but you do have to think that the small advantage goes over to the side of Ember Phoenix there because they did get first break. So I don't know what we're looking at. If we've already finished Conquest, do we have feats of Conquest? Am I crazy?
I think we'd have to, but
like, so who's ahead because of new shoes? Can we check that out?
Oh no, it's the blue side. Galaxy Gaming does have it. I don't know why I couldn't see that, but yeah, they do have the feats of warfare.
Yeah, then I mean that's gonna be.
Oh, maybe another game. Oh, look at that! That just rammed straight on into him, and that's a very, very good pick coming out. And this killer instinct gonna secure another. Absolutely absurd how well this Kais has been today, and they've absolutely just shut down this lobby. They already are at 2 items. The Rage Blade coming in next, and oh man, oh man.
Oh, Darius trying to do what he can. Got his 5 stacks. He's going for it. I don't know why. The same thing happened last time, buddy.
Oh, we do see the Mundo ult. However, it won't really be able to find much. As of now, the Darius does not have theirs in hand, so it will lead them to want to play a little bit more defensively. The Stride Breaker is going to be able to get them a little bit of a backup plan, but that backup plan wants to be regarded as that's a backup. You don't want to let that happen. So they want to back, and now they're going to get the heal off, and let's see what they can find now. Obviously, the Herald down and out. It hasn't. Wait. Has it already been washed?
It was used.
Oh, I guess I'm
used
just blind.
top.
Okay.
It was dying whenever we were visiting top and checking it out.
Oh, I see.
What? That was a lot of damage. That tower doesn't get a chance to survive. Heart Steel and Demolisher are really funny.
We do see Galaxy Gaming able to take a Drake back on, so it does give them the opportunity to start equalizing this soon enough. Right now, though, obviously, when we look at it, Ember Phoenix, they are definitely going to want to try and play for those, because if you can scale well, it might lead to a better situation for you. As we know, though, Mountain Drake, it's an interesting soul. You get a little bit of extra shielding with it. Definitely not the best in the lobby, but it would be good to have if you want to be able to win. Elder definitely going to be on the table potentially. I believe it was last week where we actually saw the Elder like twice, right? Or am I tripping on that?
You might be kind of going a little nuts on that, but you might be right. I don't think so.
I might be going the wrong direction, but you know who's not going the wrong direction? This Galaxy Gaming squad. They get a little bit of pressure on them by the side of the Phoenixes, and they just kind of back off and just regroup as a team. So see what their end game is going to be looking like. Obviously, no objectives up anytime soon. You might want to start targeting that bot lane tower just because it is still up, and most tier 1s are down at this point. So that might be the idea from them, but it doesn't seem like they want to do that with a lot of players starting to head towards mid.
Yeah, and I mean, they do have a sneaky little spot down there, right? Like, Ember Phoenix can always maybe go run away behind the turret for 2 seconds and stall long enough to live, for example, for teams to show up. Not to mention, it just kind of stops that push from getting to the second turret, obviously. So that's kind of really important whenever the only objectives that are a big deal at the moment are the Drakes. So we'll have to see if they do kind of make a concerted effort to push that down. It does look like they have Darius going that way. And Victor is now the one that is dealing with Mundo. They said tag out, Alex. You deal with ref.
I'm a little bit surprised by this. I think that the Darius would want to let them be the one dealing with it instead of sending up a mage, just because that mage potential can be really powerful. However, I'm sure that if there's a reason for it, it will be a good one, especially with 2 items on the Victor. It's going to start to become a little bit more powerful in terms of their volatility, and they are actually building to really take down tanks with that burn damage. So yeah, I mean, I like the idea behind it, so maybe it'll work. We do see the Drake about to come up, so potentially gonna start fighting. Oh, never mind, I am a liar. I don't know why I thought I saw a hourglass over there, but never mind. And it does seem like a lot of players are starting to contest for this either way, though.
Yeah, and I mean we'll have to see. I mean they want to fight and gain control of this bottom side right now because you did harp on it a little bit. You maybe don't feel as strongly as I do about it, but I think for both of these team comps, I mean both of these team comps for sure. Maybe more on the side of Ember, right? Earth Drake is really good. Earth Drake also gets very good when it's when it's 4 stacks of it. Right? Like, so Malachi being able to walk up and not care would be really big. Xin Zhao, just inherently tanky, would be a lot scarier. Victor being harder to kill. Like, there's just a lot that would come from them gaining the resists here. So Ember does have to respect these Drakes. Despite not wanting to because, it's Earth.
I think you're also going to really, if you're the side of Ember, you don't want to fight for Elder, so you want to prolong that as long as possible right now, just because of the gold lead we do see. So when it's a 2,000 deficit, obviously it is possible to be able to steal it away, but you're gonna want to make it in equalized position first. Right now, though, this Darius could activate Flash, not finding much with it. The Imperial Divide coming in. It's actually going to force this Darius into the tower, which is a phenomenal play. We see some more. The Maokai is going to be forced out of a Flash. There's going to be the Skarner as well. Skarner trying to go for an ult and not going to be able to connect. And we do see the Xin Zhao taking the front of this damage. The Nature's Grass going to keep him in play. Now, Airborne as well. It seems as if this Unstoppable is going to be making this further, and Yato's getting so much value. Maokai is going to fall. It's going to be the next Xin Zhao, and we see the Braum in the back line. It's going to be this, oh my gosh, this ult's coming in from the Mundo, maintaining so much health, and that regen is absolutely atrocious when it comes to dealing with it.
Well, and if you look, Mundo's, with the sneakily smart, buy order, he just went Heartsteel into Spirit Massage, right? So, who could, wait.
Oh,
Victor
man,
just stole Drake.
Oh.
Victor stole Drake with E2, I think. That's rough.
Well, dude, you gotta be kicking yourself if you let that happen.
I mean,
man.
Yeah, that was either Q. I mean, there's not a lot that Victor could have gotten that with, right? It had to have been E, or it had to have been Q and an auto, and he wasn't close enough to do that. And you just really hope that it wasn't a tick from that,
auto
right?
attack.
Yeah, well, not an auto attack, but just the spell. That's
rough.
Oh,
my
and
Lord.
W coming in just to tag Braum, let him know that you can be seen. He was killing a ward. They know he could be seen.
This officially is looking really, really bad for the Phoenixes. I mean, their objectives are, yeah, they have equal Drakes, but they're down a Herald that was conceded, and also they're down Sig's Void Grubs. So I think in a realistic situation, you're down gold, you're down objectives, you have no map control, basically. You gotta change something. And I think that the win condition they have to play for is that Azir, just because they looked really, really good when it came to kind of repositioning their enemies into a turret. So that might be how they want to try and win this game, but it's going to be very difficult to make anything happen at this point.
Yeah, I mean, well, we'll have to see, right? Because there is a lot, right now, for example, Azir and Skarner will be able to kill Darius if they find him. They have plenty of times over. So we'll see if this pays off, because we are waiting down here an awfully long time just to get collapsed on by the bot lane. as they come from mid. This is maybe rough. If you're Azir, you have to say we need to get out. Yep, back into the bush where they hide, but ugh. If you're
Oh,
Manu,
maybe we'll
like,
see Baron traded for Otacon here.
Azir gonna
Oh,
poke.
they will stop the back actually, so that's at least something
Oh,
nice.
there-
And
there he
this
is.
Skarner looks to engage. However, that
Yeah.
might be a little bit of a misplay. Obviously, we will see the side of the Galaxy Gaming called out, but they won't have anybody real. Actually, they do have the Mundo who's going to spend a little bit of time, and they do have the teleport, so they could try and get back into an engagement if there is contention for the bot side of the map, and maybe that'll be the case. I'm a little bit confused on why they didn't start Drake earlier, but or not Drake, sorry, Baron. But
Baron.
we'll see how this does play. There's going to be the first Q applied, and maybe you find something more off of that. It doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. Obviously, once you apply one, that's going to allow the passive to connect, and once that connects, it does give you the opportunity to instigate that primal instinct. So that's certainly going to be something that both teams are going to want to go for. Just to get an engagement, especially if you can connect one onto somebody like the Lucian, like the Azir, who's a little bit less tanky. It certainly would be a good idea to get that down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and you definitely don't want to find getting hit by her at all at the moment, right? And obviously next, I guess that could be a GA. Does GA still build out of an hourglass item? Well, no, because it's an AD item. So, I mean, that's going to be an hourglass, right?
Yeah, no, GA does not anymore. I believe I'm like 80% sure it doesn't. No, it gets the BF sword, and I don't think that would like. Doesn't even get the BF sword anymore. It might not actually.
Yeah, I think it just gets plate armor.
Huh?
And then some
Yeah,
else.
I'm not sure, but yeah, I think that definitely does have to be a Zanya's for the Azir. Which would make sense, especially since you are going up against this Jin Zhao and Kaisa, like those two are going to be jumping on you as fast as possible. So we'll see how this engagement does end up turning out. Obviously, another hit goes onto the Lucian, not going to engage off of it. Nobody to really follow up with you, so you certainly are going to want to just kind of keep playing that poke position. Oh, there's the engagement and a little bit of a return as well. First, we see the big teleport coming in from this. Oh, wait, I was going to say this is big, but it might not be. The ult already being exchanged, and oh my gosh, that's going to be the first kill, though. It's going to be a double. It's going to be a triple. Oh, man, a 4K, and completely flipping the script of this game. It's going to be the Phoenixes pulling through, and they said no Drake for us. We're going for a Baron.
Yeah, and I mean, as soon as they get shown on that, like, I don't know, if you're Victor, I'd turn around, but I'm bad. So we'll see if Victor can do anything here. They are pretty low. It does look like he's maybe just going to push, maybe floundering the time. Getting the recall. Okay.
That counter engage was
if he can.
nuts. Oof. This is a rough situation if you're Galaxy Gaming. Now you've lost the gold lead, and you also have conceded a Baron buff. I mean, obviously, it's definitely not the end of the world by any means. But, oh, the Ember Phoenixes have really just shown you their hand, and it is good.
Yeah, I mean, that fight went exactly how you wanted it to. If you're on the side of Ember, for sure. And, I mean, Dr. Mundo did not have any issues staying alive there, even though he was ignited. It was pretty impressive. And then once the ignite wore off, there was just no chance to drain him anymore. And that was that was Otacon too. Ooh. I mean, you definitely got back into the game with objectives now. In one fell swoop.
The GA effect, definitely going to be nice. It does give the side of Ember Phoenixes the idea that they want to really start an engagement. Maybe you want to just play for mid, and since there are still 2 towers down there, it would not be the worst idea by any means. So I could see it. I think it's pretty realistic that is going to be what happens here. but definitely could go either way. There it is, starting to really just run down this mid tower, and with all the empowered minions here, it's going to cause a lot of damage to both sides actually, but it will be the tower to crumble. And now they're going to want to keep on fighting down mid. We've seen the top side that there is a little bit of aggression, but down towards mid, it's going to be even worse. And the Xin Zhao's going to come out. Maybe we'll see Nature's Grasp as well. Find a little bit of value. It's able to get a root onto double, but not able to find much after that. The Skarner ulting 3, doing so much, putting up all the heavy lifting, but it's going to be so good off of it. The follow-up from the Skarner, utilizing that illusion, it just completely ruins the idea of this game. And oh man, the Emperor's Divide, not able to find anything.
And no deaths because, you know, you're just wasting your withdrawal. Wasting.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you're using the withdrawal as you're supposed to, right? Like you just go, all right, we're going ham. The teleport's coming in on the top side. Azir's gonna be able to take the top lane. Like Mundo just exerting his will on mid. Let's see if he can get another fun stack. Though Victor, you know, definitely does damage to him. Like Ref cannot stand there unfazed at least. As he gets hit by Alex.
They might be able to find the kill here, but they will be in a 2v1 situation. They find the first. There's the GA getting activated. Lucian's going to come out. But
good.
There it is. Killer Instinct finds a 1, finds a 2. And that's going to do it. 2 times and 2 kills. They will shut this game down. Fox comes out from Maokai. There's the Skarner. Looking to get an impale off potentially, but no. There's going to be the Darius trying to follow up, trying to get the aggression, keep him stalled. But a double airborne coming out from the Braum, going to leave him in a rough spot. Blascom gets him out. And that will be the side of the Ember Phoenix pulling out of this engagement and winning with an extra Drake, putting him on Drake points, or soul points on.
Yeah, I mean, they do have soul point in there, but the 900 gold from that shutdown, like the 600 gold from that shutdown, I should say, from killing, the Azir, went to Kaisa. So really best case scenario for you if you're on the side of GG, I think. That's where you wanted your money to go.
I'd like it to be known that we are only 32 minutes into this game, and this Kaisa is already maxed, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I guess they haven't gotten the boots upgrade yet, so technically not maxed. Also, I assume they don't have a potion, but, like, they're basically maxed. Like
playing out of their mind right now, though. 341 CS and 7 kills.
Oh
like,
my god!
Topping out the top of the leaderboard in both categories at the moment. Azir, the only other person with more kill participation, I think. Because I haven't done quick math.
Well, no, the Skarner has 13.
Yeah, that's right. That's
and the Braum has 11. So there's a couple people with more kill participation, but I'd go as far to say there's nobody on the same level of play.
I wonder how much damage
this Kai'Sa's been doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't get me wrong, this Azir has been ridiculously good. They have had some of the nastiest ults I've seen an Azir player do in a ranked lobby. Or not
we have action.
Like tier 3, tier 4. Okay, this engagement's going to work out. Not able to connect with the ult from the Skarner, so the Impale's going to miss out, and maybe you'll find something more, but right now it's going to be the Braum to really start backing up. The Locket's going to be utilized, not finding anything. Crazy King Kai finds the first. We see the engagement from the Darius, however, it will be countered out. The Azir flashing away. Emperor's Divide, able to knock a couple of people up, but not find anything. Right now, the Maokai is going to be the one target you really want to go for with under half HP, ulting away. The Mundo wants to find it, and they won't just yet. But an axe to the face secures the kill, and the Ember Phoenix marches on.
Sir, that's a briefcase?
Have you not seen this skin before? This is I feel like I see this every game.
Mundo file. Mundo want your TPS reports.
It's either this one or it's the Lumberjack one.
That's Scion.
Oh, that is Scion. You're so right. Those are like the 2 top lane skins I see all the time.
Oh, you're killing me. And
Oh my
speaking
gosh.
of killing me, it does
Oh,
look like
God.
this Nexus is gonna go down. Ember winning the last team fight to be able to pull out game 1.
And honestly, Ember looked good. They looked really, really good. They had a great fight after being down 2K gold, and after that, they did not pull up on any of the momentum, and they just kind of played their own game. They kept the tempo in their favor, and they just worked the map. Obviously, Galaxy Gamers, they had a really good start. They were able to match 6 Grubs, 2 Drakes, but despite that, they kept on going, and they were able to equalize Drakes as well. It just didn't work out in the end when it came to their team fights. So maybe you switch something up, but as of now, you definitely got to favor the Ember Phoenixes going into game number 2.
Yeah, and I mean, it was just a really good, like somebody said in chat, Mundo and Azir like scaled exceptionally well that game, and Lucian held his own too. Like 6-4 isn't a bad like stat line in any right, So there's a lot to go back to the draft board. I think if you're on the side of like Ember, you're feeling really good about how it turned out. If you're on the side of Guardian, like on GG, like you do have things that you can take away. But we'll have to see what happens into game 2. We'll go on like a quick little stall break, and then we'll get back in here to get into pick bans for the next match. Don't go anywhere, guys. Oh, are we?
We're seeing a post-game analysis. I don't know if that's between this map and last, or this is this game. Okay. So, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's about what you would have expected. Top lane's definitely one-sided in terms of the Darius not having as much impact as the Mundo by any means, and it really was just that Azir versus the Kai'Sa. When it came to being the team to really pull out all the stops, it was just the Kai'Sa doing a lot of work. And then the Azir matched them. They really did. And obviously it was a big game. Either team could have taken it out, but it was just a pretty dominant performance, if I do say so myself.
No, but like looking at the damage, I'm honestly I would have been happy if I'm on the side of Guardians. Like that's what I'm taking away from it. It's like, look, we really did smash out a lot of damage there. The
Yeah.
only thing that we were missing is the fact that Mundo's really big. Like that's an exceptionally big tank. So we'll just have to see what happens in picks bans for this next one. But obviously, with this being Fearless Draft, we're not going to see the Mundo again. We're not going to see the Azir again. Which are, they have pretty unique play styles. I don't think that it's as unique for like 80 carries. That's a little
That's
more
what I was thinking.
transferable from hero to hero. So you have to think that maybe losing more of the pick pool for mid and like top as like that really tanky, that really high burst like mage, though there are more high burst mages. Maybe it's more just effective for like the Mundo, because now you have to play like an Ornn, or you have to play a Shin, or you have to play like the Scion, and still hope the game gets late. And you also, you may not have first blood to start the next match.
Yeah. Anyways, we will be heading to a short little break here. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be speaking to you again once more in a little bit, but make sure to stay tuned for the draft coming up just after this.
Hello.
Time and time again, we've joined into the draft. This time's a little bit different. This is not a first game. This is a second game, and we're watching. As we remember from Blue Otter, Galaxy Gaming was that favorite. This time, Ember Phoenix. They've come in, they've swooped this game number 1 away, and instantly we're into the draft. And a Tristana Sivir matchup seems to be likely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that you're gonna flex the either champion to a different lane, right? Like, so that is going to be the bot lane matchup. I mean, I think it depends. I think it's contingent on the jungle and the support picks before I decide on who I like better in the lane. Maybe just by nature of how that's maybe how bot lane plays traditionally, but also just because I am really curious. I don't know. You got thoughts on that, Cherry?
And right now, it certainly has seemed like both teams can win it out here. It's going to be that Crocodile to be locked in. The Renekton coming out onto the pitch, and maybe it'll work out. Maybe it won't. A little bit of a less scaling champion once it hits that 25-minute mark or so. It starts to fall off a little bit compared to most top laners. So if this Udyr is in the top side, it could cause a little bit of a problem for Renekton. Is that allowed?
Yeah, is that a mispick prod? Can we do this?
Production person, save us. Oh, no. Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Cool.
So it is going to be Hui instead of Victor because Victor was played last game.
Similar picks.
Yeah, no, they're right next to each other in the alphabet. But, you know, obviously that's going to be
V and
Hui
H
instead. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, but when I was very much younger and we had to like line up alphabetically for getting into line and stuff, I'd always see that H kid right next to the V every single time.
Anyways, getting banned out for our next
Elise,
start.
I like
set.
Elise. I'm gonna be honest. I think
Help
Elise
me,
is a
the
fun
spooners
character.
in my fridge stealing my blue buff. Jarvan, help, please. She turns into a spooner and she's hissing at me. In Oranban, I mean, if you're Ember, I don't know if you're Ember if you want to ban the Oran, but like not dealing with the big top laners are getting banned out. Big scaly top laners.
I feel like Galaxy Gaming wouldn't even want to lock in an Ornn here. Like, you already have the Poppy who has a ton of armor, and they're really going to be pinching out armor tanks with the Malphite followed up on.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, Ember wants to keep Engage out of their hands. Akali coming over onto the side of Galaxy Gaming, so I am curious on how that's handled in the mid lane. I did really like the Victor play last game. This is a more aggressive Victor. And then okay, all right. Tristana getting protected up by Lulu, and then the top lane Renekton is coming out.
Makes sense. We saw the Renekton hovered earlier. This time it will be locked. So I like this idea. I think that the Akali is a good follow-up. I think that's likely just going to be the mid side. So I'm wondering how that's going to be able to play into a way. And there's the Gunnar. So lots of tanky top laners. I like this AP mid versus AP mid. Not sure how I feel about the Udyr to follow up with the Akali. I think that's possibly gonna be a little bit weak in terms of comboing off of each other. Same with the Tristana Lulu. I don't know how I feel about that just yet.
The Tristana Lulu, the Lulu's just there to protect the Tristana. Like, there's no going in is the Tristana Lulu. It's Tristana going in if they can find a kill in my head. And then Lulu's there to protect Tristana, like, with ultimate, just on engage / protect with Whimsy when Akali comes to dash in, protect with, throwing picks onto Trist and everything like that. In a perfect world, that's at least how I see it working out. I could be completely wrong. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about when I watch these games. I just work off of feels and vibes, man.
Yeah.
But
I
it just depends.
I think based off of compositions, I'm gonna favor Galaxy Gaming. But I'm definitely not gonna say that Ember Phoenix is a worse comp just because I think there's a good chance they could make something happen. And if they can do something cool, they can do something cool. But we will go to a short little break here. We'll be back with the game right after this, so make sure to stay tuned because we got even more League of Legends coming your way in just a little bit.
強く強く輝いて消えた流れ星ほら命が燃える何かに怯え走り続けたその虚しさのしじまに何を見て何を探してきた自分の声がただ響く幾千万の星の中で惹かれて出会った守り手たちよ回る回る時の輪の中で自分の弱さ強さの先に同じ空誰かが見上げてるそう信じて消されない虹の奇跡が届けと冷たい指で涙拭ったあの日にはもう帰れない水平線目指して飛び立つ自分の願いを抱いて幾千万の星に呼ばれ交わりすれ違う守り手たちよ回る回る時に抗って未来を願ってもいいですか儚さから目をそらしたぐり寄せる道の兆しの向こうかける希望あなたの光あなたの命いたずらに知らさないようにそっとくれた記憶胸に熱く灯し約束の地へもう繰り返らずに恋願う歌は空高く世界に銀河に広がってくそれがいつか風となり消えて新たな日が始まる越えてゆく時の輪の中で確かに刻みつけたきらめき同じ空誰かが見上げて信じた
We're back on the Rift for game number 2. It's 1-0 in favor of the Embers, but this is where they got to bring it back. This is where they got to make their stand. If you're Galaxy Gaming, you want to bring this to a map number 3. If you're the side of Embers, you want to take this now. The Phoenixes need to rise, and they need to rise to the occasion because, obviously, as we know, they were a couple of underdogs coming into this match, but maybe the Skinnar are going to have to change the story, but just a little bit of damage to be applied, and they will be able to back off immediately.
To sit there and help Jerry out, opposite direction, by the way. Like Galaxy Gaming is the underdogs technically. Ember
really?
came out.
I
Yeah,
thought you were
Ember had a
rooting for
really
them.
good. They had a no. I chose them because I chose them the opposite of everyone else.
Oh,
I
see,
chose
see.
everyone the opposite of everyone else until Targon division, I think, because I'm just a contrarian. Damage coming out, however, from the Victor, I mean Hui. And just a little bit of abuse down here too. I think the Poppy pick is actually really good against their team. Actually, super sweet pick. If you're,
I always
if
choose
you're on
based
the
off of
side
logo.
Guardian. I mean, I was very vibes based this time around.
Oh, I see.
But I did choose GG. But you know, Ember had a really good win last week over DDG that nobody was expecting. So that's kind of why they're the favorite right now. Yeah, Hui's just getting that E2 off pretty effectively. I think. Well, no, is that E3? I think that's EE. But I don't remember.
I want to see
'Cause
what
it's
this
the
Akali can
Voidy.
do, because I feel like this might not be able to find a ton of value into this comp. They're gonna really have to focus this way and Lulu in team fights, but even then, Lulu has their R, which kind of bounces them back, and it's gonna be rough for this Akali to really find much value. So it needs to have some kind of effect. And we look at this, and we actually do see this Poppy starting to get a little bit of pressure. We see the bomb applied to the Poppy, and now the Sivir as well is going to be able to take the front of this load. And now with that damage applied, it really does give this wave priority over towards this blue side of the Embers, and this top side as well. It's just this Gnar getting bullied, which this is one of the only laning states where a Renekton's going to be able to beat him, because usually Gnar is going to be really good into a top laner because of that early game priority that they do have. But Renekton has that opportunity to kind of close the gap between them.
He's
and
going
kind
for
of
it right
make
here.
it a little bit better. And yeah, actually they will.
There he
Flash
was.
goes nowhere, and no flash, no anything, and that's going to be the Gnar shut down. It's getting deja vu, except this time it won't be them getting first blood, it'll be getting them last blood. Tristana gets next, Rex going over with the flash, and oh my lord, Jarvan 4 is going to get connected on by the tower, and oh no, despite the HP differential, it's going to be the Sivir to just have to try and make anything, but a 2-kill lead is absurd.
Akali's coming down, though. We'll see if anything comes from it. Never mind. They disappeared and went back top. Poppy had to waste flash, though, respecting the rocket jump bomb combo from Tristana. And that's what I was thinking about. Tristana also really smart to waste that, like, not waste flash, but to burn flash to make sure, like, to secure the kill on Udyr for double buff. Because, like, here you go.
Oh, and that's the feats of warfare, and another kill. Rex at a 3-1 KDA already with a BF sword at 435. Absolute absurdity.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see if you're on the side of GG. You don't want Tristana to basically have their finger on the gas, right? Double so with Renekton also being a pretty effective bully up here in the top lane. Sort of surprising Callie with that damage for that first blood earlier, but you know, that's just you gotta respect the damage that 3 auto attacks are gonna pop out on the completely Fury W, because that's what happened there.
I don't know how I feel about the Soul Stealer after being 0-1 on a jungler. Maybe it'll work out, but I don't think I like this. Oh. Engagement's not going to be... Oh, they do connect with the Shuriken. However, not much gets found after that. This Gnar still just trying to keep a wide open space within the rift, and this Renekton's going to have to try and limit this as much as possible. But as of now, we're going back over to the mid side. We see 3 players of GG over here, and maybe they'll try and go for an engagement. Obviously, no priority for Scrubs or Drake has really been taken, but now there will be that with the side of the Phoenix trying to rise to the occasion and take this Drake. So we do see the Udyr going up for Grubs. It is literally giving deja vu of last game, and we'll see what they can find here.
Yeah, I don't think that GG like is going to have any threat on losing these first set of Grubs. Like despite Gnar not having flash anymore. Yep. See, bloop, they're gone. Oh, yeah. Just here we go. Jarvan going in on Sivir.
I mean, there's a good chance this one won't be able to find much, but Sivir's going to be taking a lot of damage. This Poppy, they do have that speed available most likely, but they won't try and engage. Instead, they're just keeping this lead. No, the Tristana doing Tristana things. Imagine if they had Void Grubs right now. Tristana bombs would be doing an absurd amount of damage, and it still is kind of ridiculous. However, a little bit less ridiculous than it possibly could have been. So they do have Infernal Drake, definitely a strong one with the
Yeah.
ability damage it does give you. So really going to be difficult here.
Whoop! Oh, way damage. I mean, that's got to be not a fun lane for Akali right now. Both of them kind of going back to reset. I'm kind of curious on what they'll have on their buys. I assume that it'll be like a Codex or something for Akali, like the one that doesn't give mana. And then Codex 4 Hue. So, did we not back all the way? Did I just get pranked? Okay, now we're backing. I did get pranked there for a second. Stop looking at the mini map. Oh no, haunting guys. I was silly. My bad, chat.
This certainly is not looking amazing for Galaxy Gaming. It seems as if a 2-0 might possibly just be inevitable. We'll have to wait and see, though. How will this be approached? How will this be found? Because honestly, it really could go either way. We can't really make any assumptions just yet. And oh no, the polymorph going to cause so much damage to be activated. The Poppy trying to get out, but it won't just happen. Maybe they'll get something, but the Udyr is coming down.
Oh,
they need
the
to make something.
teleport too.
Teleports really pushing in here, and they will be able to find one by the looks of it. But this Poppy, or not Poppy, sorry, the Lulu will just be able to back out. Rex down, but that leaves them in a rough spot. Their gold lead is going to start diminishing, and maybe that actually is the lead that needed to come in for GG.
Who got that shutdown though? Was it Udyr or was it Poppy? It was Udyr because Poppy got the kill the last time. Okay, I mean, so it's an effective-ish like shutdown. You would have rather it gone to your Sivir, but beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, I think that you could choose there. Not gonna lie. I think that you kind of really
choose. You chose that it wasn't Poppy.
Lanes have kills.
Poppy could have gotten it.
Yeah, that kind of would have helped a little bit, maybe. Oh, Udyr flashing over the wall, not going to be able to find much. That's unfortunate. Utilizing so much from that that Jarvan, unfortunately, not to get too much of a lead.
Oh, it
landed. Gonna push it.
But Lady is effectively doing a oop, Tristana. Taking a lot of damage there, but obviously safe enough not to get completely done in by Gnar. Ward, going down well from Lulu. Getting that ward clear on. Yeah, vision games. Mind games. We're going for vision. But yeah, what I was trying to say earlier is like Hue is doing a pretty good job on avoiding the Akali. As I say that, the fear Q missed, and you saw that the respect had to happen. The ult came out, and there was a scared Hue.
Yeah, it is rough right now, but Blast Cone's going to be available. Poppy Cone is going to get him right on into the hands of Forgiveness, and Renekton working hand in hand. That leads his Grubs to be traded out, though.
Tristana bombs are now going to have Grubs. But at least it's not a full set of Grubs. It's not 4 or more. So, good thing for small blessings.
Yeah, you got to take these leads where you can get them. And if you can't get them, then you need to find some way to get them, because realistically, if you keep playing this way, it seems as if a 2-0 lead is going to be inevitable and a series win, because right now in the Blue Otter League, you got to take these wins where you can get them, because every team is confident that they can win, and the Jarvan ult's going to come out, want to get something more, and there's the Lulu extending theirs as well, working to get that extra HP and get him straight off the court. So now with this rift being completely thrown between these two teams, it really leaves a cog for this Galaxy Gaming squad to hold, because this tower's going down one way or another.
Yeah, and the get richer over here. That was a really well-timed ult from Jarvan. Renekton?
Oh, look at this. This Renekton. They are on a cliff.
Oh.
They do have the ultimate in hand. They drop a flash. Stun comes through. We might see this Gnar taken down, but not just yet. Oh, not the Gnar, sorry. That's a lot of players, though. 4 people down the bot side. But the Jarvan's going to start the engage, so they want to try and get involved, and they will be able to get involved in the fight. But this Akali overextending, but they still find one. The Lulu, though, not the target you wanted. Them being down is going to leave a lot of a gap. And now this re-engage might possibly be a lot. If this Jarvan 4 can find anything, they don't have the ultimate up, but that's going to be the way. Missing out, and this Renekton needs to go heavy, but nothing to find. It seems that this back is just going to be inevitable.
Yeah, I mean, and it was a little overzealous on Alex's part. Renekton is still hunting though. Whoop! Cold.
Oh, a big kill from Ref.
Just the meek feel the Q. The range on that is deceptively big. Tristana is baiting out the Gnar. We'll see if he tries to go in. Yup. Nope. There we go.
Oh.
Lulu showing finally and scaring the Mega Gnar off. Maybe. Oh, it whiffed. That's a bad place to be if you're Gnar.
Oh no, and this Gnar showing their true colors. They are no giant, undefeatable monster. They are a small, little guy. And now with them back into their true form, it leaves them to fall once more. 0-3 on the Gnar. A very devastating start to this series.
Shuggy. Alright, let's see if Hui can... Oh, the damage is coming out. Hui may fall here. Yep. Kali also?
A good kill. I think that probably favors the Akali. They want to be useful. And they kind of made themselves
shutdown
useful
too, right?
Yeah, it really was a good pick. Sivir's going to try and get some plates, but they won't be able to find much. And that's actually going to be the plating falling down for everyone, so that leaves them with a lot less gold than what they'd like. Obviously, the Essence Reaver, it's a good item, but comparatively to what this Tristana is packing, their firepower is going to be absolutely dominant. Towards the top side, we already see the tower down. It's rough.
First brick is gone, and, you know, like you were saying earlier, Tristana showed up and helped out and took a couple of plates off of that one themselves, right? Like, so... I don't know, if you're on the side of GG, you're trying to find something, and obviously we're looking right here in the bot lane. It does look like they were spotted out by a ping on the map. Maybe I'm wrong here, but yeah, it just looks like they're gonna back off, make it back to tower, and nobody's gonna be in trouble. We've got 1:45 on Drake. No other big objectives. Renekton's just gonna get vision. Oh, maybe not. All right, there we go. He got his ward. What else are we waiting on here? I just want action, guys. Help me out. Do something. I mean, they are CSing. I can't argue that. Let's look at items. Oh no.
Oh, look at this. The rocket jump coming out. Sivir's going to be in a bad spot. This Poppy trying to get the re-engage. However, they're going to be the ones to fall. With the Tristana back in the lobby, and they want blood. They're going to get it. Looking to get the ult off. They will be able to send them straight on back, but straight on back to what exactly? Trying to get this re-engage off, and maybe you can try and get a little bit of luck for your wares. The Jarvan 4 ult's going to keep them in a rough spot. They will be able to find the kill. However, the rocket jump connects. Flash out. Trying to get the Akali. Not killing them just yet, but a double. Potentially. Never mind. The Akali's able to find the one and out. Flash needing to do something. And a triple kill.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be happy with that if you're on the side of Alex. That was one shutdown at least. Maybe a second one. Probably a second one and getting Tristana again. So that's going to be a lot of monies. And you know you want monies if you're on an assassin. So we'll always go with not the worst.
I'd go with the worst. I mean, now it's 14-7 in terms of kills. I got 3k gold lead.
Look, when you're already behind in kills, it's the small incremental wins that will give you the chance to win the next fight. It's not the fact that you're hemorrhaging deaths. That's never the way to look at it. You gotta take the small battles. You gotta be ready for disaster and to mitigate problems. We'll see if Jarvan just goes in for the sacrifice. Doesn't look like he's gonna be able to. Poppy's got him kind of zoned. He's just gonna walk out. Yeah, not gonna attempt it. That's wise. Like that W would have wrecked his day.
Right now is 14 kills to 7, completely doubling up. But the gold, however, very similar, very simple amount of gold. And maybe the engagement, yep, flashing through from the Poppy with a Hex Flash and trying to be a little bit conservative when it comes to their abilities. But the Poppy might be called out for their aggression. DP comes in, we see the Jarvan 4 ult, however, actually, this is just going to be both
2
teams.
teleports.
Oh, lol, look at how that just ended, and that Gnar forced out of both summoner spells early in a fight.
Yeah, nothing really comes from that. Fight as far as like an actual engaged fight, so it does look like we're gonna reset. I do think it was smart for the TP to come out on the side of Ember as well. That was definitely really intimidating, more intimidating than not having it in that fight, and probably helped mitigate any sort of engage that GG wanted to have while they were as low as they were. Because they lost the numbers game.
Definitely think that could have went better, but you can't complain. As of now, Baron is going to be up, or not Baron, sorry, that's the Herald up. Maybe you're going to want to start fighting for it. We do see a couple players starting to go over there, both junglers in the vicinity, and maybe that'll lead to it being fought for. Maybe it won't. As we can see, though, a lot of people are going to spread out through the map for this red side, but the blue side, not so much. Herald's going to be attacked, and we do see the Renekton maybe in a 1v2 situation where they will have to activate ult, hope for their teammates to start collapsing, and never mind, they will be able to back out, and it seems like nobody wants to really contest this Renekton.
Yeah, and there's a couple of things that I'm really curious about here in a second, because I like something that we didn't harp on, and I know that you said the kill count is so different. What you're not thinking about, though, is how much money the shutdowns have given the Akali as well, right? So whereas we're looking at, an Akali that's 1 kill behind and CS behind the Tristana, I don't think it's as big of a gap, or it's like actually in the reverse currently, because they were big shutdowns. And we've got action. Gnar staying respectful of the Hui. He didn't know where anybody was on the map, so that was a wise escape.
It's been a second since we've seen any real engagements coming out, but that Herald's certainly gonna drive a thorn through the side of Galaxy Gaming. They're gonna have to really make sure that they can work and make sure that Herald doesn't get too much value, because if you can send that down mid, especially get that volatility down and secure that base turret to be activated, like that could really start causing some detrimental damage, and maybe that'll be the case, maybe it won't, but as of now, we certainly just gotta wait and see, because this Udyr possibly to be called out. I believe they were seen by some information, but right now, this
Tristana.
very difficult. Oh, this Tristana, they're going to go aggressive, and they're going to get so much value for it. Forcing out the flash, rocket jump, 2 in a row, make it a triple, and they don't get out, but they might be able to build some time. Ulting away, trying to get something, and they actually throw that Poppy right in the way of this Jarvan. The Poppy's going to be able to flash away, but they won't do it for free. A little bit of damage applied, and now there's going to be a counter engagement, and this punishment, no, the Polymorph going to be able to get away, and it's going to be the Mega Gnar to really just run out of time, forced back into their Yordle phase, and now they take a little bit of damage, and nothing too much. The Otacon's probably going to be the opportunity you want to fight for, but as of now, both teams are just going to be in a bit of a standstill.
Yeah, they didn't really have enough to go for the Otacon like they want, but like, if you're on the side of GG right now, like that bot lane disparity is really rough as far as just Tristana able to go in and use everything. I mean, like, not even everything. That was just W and E, and then another W and auto attacks. That was enough to drop your ADC. So you're definitely feeling the hurt right now if you're Yato. But this is an extremely different play style of ADC than Kai'Sa was. So maybe I spoke too soon. It does look like we're getting vision. There's a fight happening.
Oh, this Jarvan. So little HP already going to be burned down a little bit, but not secure the kill. Instead, I don't know whether or not the idea is going to be, yep, they're going to go for the Drake immediately. Not going to try their luck at the Otacon. And maybe they just get it. No real contestation. And without that, it's going to be just a concession. And it leads the side of
I mean, that is Soul Point.
Galaxy. Yeah, they're on Soul Point. I mean, it is just a Chemtech, so it isn't a big deal, but it is good. It is very good for them.
Yeah, I mean, where it's not the best Drake. Oh, and then we have the flash engage onto the Renekton. He is slow. He's gonna go down. And there's another shutdown for the Akali. Like, so we're collecting shutdowns, and we're collecting 2 to 3 golds worth of people for a kill on Akali right now. We're ramping up. So, you know, there's always a glimmer of hope. That's probably your win con, is you're just like, I want you to get strong enough to where you can click on this Tristana and she vanishes. I want to see Now You See Me 5. The case of the disappearing Tristana. If you're a GG fan.
Next, Otacon seems to be the priority. And I think that this is likely. Galaxy Gaming, they're starting to make the comeback. They are really doing a good job at starting to really be proactive when it comes to taking objectives. And I think this is exactly what they're going to want. We see the Poppy trying to mitigate some damage, and they are really going to leverage the fact that their ultimate's activated. But Rex shutting him down. Oh, no. I thought they might have gotten it, but there's no steal by any means.
But
however,
the plants.
it doesn't give the GA effect, so there still is a little bit more they gotta do.
Oh,
and I think they called him out.
You're in a bad spot, buddy.
It's not gonna matter. I mean, they're already 0-3. 1 kill is gonna give like 200 gold max.
I mean, yeah, but it's a poor. He's just a caveman. He doesn't understand our current metas. That's Saturday Night Live reference, which a bunch of you all probably aren't gonna be able to get, and I apologize.
Oh no, look at that. Boom!
Oh, that tower!
Oh my gosh, and now it goes again. Let's see if it can get enough. Obviously, it's got almost 1,000 HP, so it is going to be rough to really get this thing pushed through, but maybe they'll do it. Never mind. It will get burned down, so decent play coming in from the side of Galaxy Gaming. They will be able to mitigate that damage and kind of stress the relief, but it was definitely stressed. It got them a turret down, and now that bot lane is open and pluck for the picking.
I mean, you know, and definitely happy if, like, Ember's just playing out right now. Ember is kind of, like, really scary at the moment. I don't know if anybody can confirm for me with this. I wasn't paying attention to the roster from last week, so this may be the roster where they had decided to do, like, some sub-out or lane switches, and they seem to have worked out really good against DDG. They seem to be working out right now tonight. Or maybe, like, if I'm just talking completely crazy and this is their original week 1 team comp, then, like, you know, maybe the time off was well needed. That rest seemed to have paid off if that's the case, because they are really playing well. We'll just have to see if they can finish off and close out.
You know what?
And I think the next big thing, if they don't get a pick and go for Baron, is going to be the dragon, to see if they can, you know, stop Soul from being in spawn. But I've spoken for too long. It's all yours again, Cherry.
I'm just gonna say it. I think that there was a little bit of a misplay. I think that we should have seen more people building Merc treads for the side of for the Embers, because the only 2 people on your opponent's team who can really do damage, guess what? They're both AP. Like, I think the fact that there's like we got a Lulu who's got ability haste. Obviously, it's like the main thing, so it makes sense. I do like this. The Jarvan's gonna build their own MR, and look at that, the damage applied, and you are cooked in the book. Maybe not. Oh my gosh! Wow. Okay, make me be dumb. Okay. Well, you know what? This Akali certainly knows their way around the map, and they yeah, they're gonna make me really make some mistakes there.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if anything else kind of comes out. You saw the flash steal, the flag and drag steal on the blue buff, I think is what happened there. Or he just had it pulled out and he finished killing it. I wasn't paying attention to the mini map at that time. I'm trying to look at chat so that I can sort of talk with them at the same time. So I apologize. Meganar is active. We'll see if he does try to go in for an engage, but I doubt he does. And then, like, that's going to be a really strong power point if you're Ember. You might want to try and engage at the moment because you know you don't have Gnar to worry about. Ugh, the damage, though.
Bit of an engagement, possibly.
Waze poke is going really well this game. And then, like I said, here comes the dragon fight that I had kind of brought up that we were curious
right now,
about.
We do see the Embers in control of the dragon, so they're going to be the team to get it, and that
take.
does lead them off of Soul Point. We see them starting to potentially go for an engagement. Scuttle Crab is going to be eliminated, and yeah, Polymorph's going to be their root as well, starting to get the extra damage. We do see the Akali really pushed in, forced out, and oh no, they're going to be a bad spot. This Gnar, oh man, the Jarvan Fort's going to be able to execute one, and there's a second. Both bot lane and support are down, and make it a triple, looking to go for extra. Zanya's going to be activated, but oh, you're just prolonging your death. Double kill comes out for Rex, and that leads them to go for Baron.
Yeah, and I mean, like, that's, you know, I mean, Ember just has their foot on this game at this point. This is one or two team fights for Ember to lose now before you feel comfortable on thinking GG can come back in my head. Where gold starts to matter less, you know, the longer you get into game, right? But that's not a small amount of gold difference, right? That's going to be a couple items if anybody's starved on the side of GG.
Dude, this Tristana is 11-4. Oh my god. This is an absolute nightmare to go against. And you know what? I don't want to be the one to say it, but I'm going to be the one to say it. This, I think this Dark Seal, I said it earlier, I'm going to say it again. The Dark Seal buy for the jungler. Certainly an interesting idea from the Udyr, but it will be reset to 0 after being at 5 before. And now there's another turret down. In the mid side, it really is just these empowered minions to just kind of march their way straight on in. It won't last for too long. We will see him starting to be destroyed. We see on the bot side of the map that there is somebody looking to bring some more minions up to really just kind of put some pressure, and applying that would be nice. As of now, nothing really has been seen, and with 21 kills, it leads you to believe that this differential should not last too much longer, and this should just be a 2-0, but we'll see what the plan is ending up. And all right, the Jarvan's going to be able to jump over the wall. They want to start ending towards the bot side of the map. And this Kali going to be, burned to a crisp. And with turret going to be broken as well, it leads them to not really have to feel any real pressure for at least a couple more seconds. Obviously, no more minions remaining to kind of take the front. Never mind, they're actually going to be brought back right now. So a little bit of a curse on my end, I guess. And now we do see them just kind of playing very, very close, tight knot. And now, yeah, this Udyr is going to be ulting. We'll see what happens from here.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good sort of engage from Poppy onto the way. Let's see if they can do anything with it. The Gnar is coming out. This does look like it may be a kill for... Nope, I lied.
How on earth did this Lulu live? They had 3 people on them, and they just stayed alive no matter what. But that is going to do it by the looks of it.
Yeah, that was a really that was the team fight, right? Let's see if Akali can do anything here. Get a couple of assassinates. You got a chance.
There's a chance, but a chance. Oh,
there's one.
Well, they will find one. And they might actually get a second.
There's 2.
Oh my gosh, they find a second. Wait. Zonyu's might have been a misplay. That actually might have been a massive misplay. Flash comes out, not allowing this Tristana or Lulu to die. And oh my gosh, yeah, you shouldn't have Zonya there. You needed to stay alive, but I don't think any world would have allowed them to win. Despite getting a double kill at the end, Kali showed promise, but that promise was not enough.
Yeah, I mean, just not a not really a chance to show off and do too much. Everybody else was kind of in the same boat where they weren't winning their lanes, which, you know, you can't do much as an assassin if you're assassinating alone. And sometimes people just gotta ask how the assassin's doing. And the gold, like I said, they did have a decent amount of gold if I could see it. I mean, they do have. Ooh, but yeah, just give me over a little. I can't see it on the screen, prod. It's cut off. Yes,
The gold?
I can't see
The
it.
go the gold is on the screen, yeah.
Okay, well, okay. I for the record, I can only see one damage number after
Oh,
scoreline.
wait, yeah, you're totally right. Yeah, that's not gold,
Okay,
is it?
cool. I'm glad that I'm not
I
tripping.
I was like thinking, okay, I like hear gold and I see the like far right and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's gold. But then I like look at it and I'm like, oh, that's not gold.
Prod, we're slightly too like if we
Oh,
move the screen left a little bit, we can see gold, but I can't see gold at the moment. Yes, exactly. But I,
guys, this is my
like
Dota 2 producer right now. Oh,
this is
yes,
what
there
we've
we
got
go.
going
There
on.
we go.
Dying here.
Oh no. Yeah, we might be cooked.
But yeah, no, I mean Tristana was terrifying in that
Oh
second
my god.
match.
For
Got to
for
just
sure.
swing
They were looking good
free.
game 1, but game 2 was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think that might do we want to Oh, there we go. Look at what we got here. Gold.
So yeah, I mean, outside of like, I obviously Tristana like takes a huge advantage. I do want to say whenever Tristana was 6-5, like 6-3 and whatever, and Akali was 5-3, I think their gold was very similar, right? Like, and um, around when I was talking about that because of the shutdowns and stuff. But I don't know. It was. I mean, it was a fun series.
Yeah, for sure.
We got some good matches to watch. We got to watch some fun team fights.
Yeah, I definitely could not agree with you more. It was a great series. Galaxy Gaming put up a lot of fight. They just were not enough. Ember Phoenix took the win, and they were the team to fly and rise to the occasion. So now that this is over, it will be a 2-0 series, and Ember Phoenix going to be the team to go on and really be in that driver's seat. Going into week number 3, they really looked good. But let's see whether or not they can maintain this and bring it forward next week. See you later.